If there wasn't a tape, then we wouldn't know what happened.
This is CBS 46 News at 4:30. Getting results.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm CBS 46 meteorologist Fred Campagna. Cold start to the day, but there will be a mild finish, a little warmer than it was yesterday. High temperatures today will be in the lower 70s, and the warm-up continues for us through the middle of the week into the weekend. 77 for a high on Wednesday with a blend of clouds and sunshine. Low 80s on Thursday, maybe into the mid-80s Friday and Saturday, and not far from 90 on Sunday. It'll also be getting much warmer at night with lows in the 60s. Three, two, one. Hi, I'm CBS 46 meteorologist Fred Campagna. Very chilly start to the day. Temperature makes it up into the low to mid 60s by noontime today. And then we'll reach a high temperature of about 71 or 72 this afternoon with a blend of clouds and sunshine. The warm up continues for us into the middle of the week and end of the work week as well. 77 for a high on Wednesday, partly cloudy Thursday near 82, up into the mid 80s on Friday and Saturday. And it won't be far from 90 on Sunday afternoon. Yeah, it's usually a split screen. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. It is a cold start to the day in the 30s and 40s, but we're going to turn it around in a hurry. I'm talking about a warm up in the 7-day. All right. Last but not least, 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm CBS 46 meteorologist Fred Campagna. A cold start on Tuesday in the 30s and 40s, but some warmer weather is awaiting us in the middle and the end of this week as we're looking at temperatures rising up through the 50s and 60s into the low 70s this afternoon with a blend of clouds and sunshine. You'll notice here that as you go through the next few days, we're not going to see full blue sky, but we will have a gradual warm up on the way. Not as chilly tomorrow morning. Low temperatures generally in the low to mid 50s. Wednesday afternoon, we could see we quickly make it into the low 70s by early in the afternoon. And then by late in the day, it's about 75 to 80 degrees. And we'll continue that trend as we get into Thursday. Notice Thursday morning's low temperatures will be a little bit milder. Again, not far from 60 on Thursday morning. And then lows will be in the 60s for a few days. High on Thursday in the low 80s. Friday's high temperature in the low to mid 80s. And we'll keep it rolling right into the weekend. About 87 for a high on Saturday. And not too far from 90 on Sunday afternoon. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay. Karen, you want to do yours? I was typing a.
2 seconds? Yeah. All right. In 3, 2. Top health officials head to Capitol Hill today. Their concerns about reopening the nation, plus what the governor's doing here in Georgia just hours from now. Again, 3, 2. Top health officials head to the Capitol today. Their concerns about reopening the nation, plus what the governor's doing here in Georgia just hours from now.
You ready? Okay. 3, 2. Play ball. Good news, Braves fans, when the first pitch could be thrown out and everything we know about the start of baseball season. Let me do that one more time. 3, 2. Play ball. Good news for Braves fans when the first pitch could be thrown out and everything we know about the start of baseball season. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, I am. Mic check 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mic check 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome.
It is cold out there this morning, 30s and 40s to start. We're going to go, though, from the heat to the AC before too long.
If there wasn't a tape, then we wouldn't know what happened.
And for the first time, we hear from the man who recorded that controversial shooting death of an unarmed jogger, Ahmaud Arbery.
And are you ready for some baseball when the 2020 season could begin and what that means for your Atlanta Braves?
This is CBS 46 News at 4:30. Getting results.
Yes, 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 and yes. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Gurveer Dinsa.
Yep, boys of summer, ready to get out there on the diamond as well. And I'm Karen Greer. Cool start to your Tuesday morning, everybody. So we're going to get a check of Atlanta's most accurate forecast. Everybody's in place. Here's meteorologist Fred Campagna.
Hi, good morning, Karen and Gurveer, and Rodney as well. It is very chilly out there this morning. The temperature at least in the 40s and in some cases in the 30s under clear to partly cloudy skies. You see a couple of showers showing up in northeast Alabama. A couple of those may move into far northwest Georgia. Look at these temperatures, though, this morning. 39 in Carrollton, 43 for Canton, mid to upper 30s up in the mountains. Athens, you're at 44 this morning. Atlanta, one of the warmer spots even in the city. It is 49 degrees. We have those clouds off to our northwest. It won't be full sunshine today. It'll be a slow and gradual warm up for us, but it will turn out to be milder than it was yesterday. After this very chilly start, we're still in the upper 40s and low 50s by 9 this morning, but by noontime, we're up into the low to mid 60s. And during the afternoon, we should see enough sunshine that the temperature gets up to around 70 degrees later on today, probably reaching the lower 70s. Big difference from what we saw yesterday. Well, it won't be as windy as it was yesterday. So pretty pleasant out there by late this afternoon. We'll have a nice warm up on the way. So if you don't like it this cool, I have some good weather in store for you in that 7-day forecast. We'll check on that in just a bit.
Not complaining, but I'm looking forward to those 80s, Fred. Thank you. Let's check the roads for you on your Tuesday morning. This is a live look at the downtown connector at Langford Parkway. All clear right now. We've got a few cars moving out there, but at least they're moving along at a pretty good clip. Rodney has your complete traffic update coming up in less than 10 minutes. We do have breaking news at 4:30 this morning. A car ran into an apartment building in northeast Atlanta overnight. It happened at the Magnolia Park apartment homes. A woman and children were inside when this happened. They were not seriously injured. Police found a damaged SUV about a mile from the scene. They've not yet connected that to the crime scene. The driver of the car has not been found. This morning, the Justice Department is trying to figure out whether the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery should be a federal hate crime. Little seemed to take place for more than 2 months after Ahmaud Arbery was shot, but that changed after a video came to light. And the man who recorded Arbery's death is now speaking out. Here's John Lawrence.
The investigation into Ahmaud Arbery's shooting death was drastically altered by William Roddy Bryan.
If there wasn't a tape, then we wouldn't know what happened. Or y'all wouldn't. I would.
Bryan recorded the video that shows the confrontation that led to Arbery's death in South Georgia in February.
I hope that it, in the end, brings justice to the family and peace to the family.
Less than 3 days after the video was posted online, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation announced the arrests of Travis McMichael and his father, Greg. The McMichaels are facing murder and aggravated assault charges. The case has sparked protests and calls for justice, even reaching the White House.
I'm speaking to many people about it. I saw the picture of him in his tuxedo. It was so beautiful. I mean, he looks like a wonderful young guy.
I am very sorry to the family. I pray for him every night as well as my own family.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
According to a police report in Glenn County, Greg McMichael told investigators that Bryan was involved in trying to block Arbery. Bryan's lawyer disputes that, saying that there's no relationship whatsoever between him and the McMichaels.
Now this morning, a renewed push to get state lawmakers to pass a hate crimes law. AME Bishop Reginald T. Jackson leading more than 500 churches in our state. The group plans a joint news conference scheduled for noon in Brunswick today. It's about pressuring state lawmakers to pass a hate crimes law when they reconvene in June. In November, investigators say they stopped a 16-year-old white girl who had plans to go on a stabbing spree at a predominantly black church in Gainesville. The Arbery case has renewed his push in light of the shooting death of a jogger, Ahmaud Arbery.
As you know from the 2018 election, Georgia is no longer a solidly red state. And so if we can get our people to respond, we can apply pressure. I believe pressure will change things.
Among other things, some people who don't want a hate crimes law think it might impede freedom of speech. Bishop Jackson says, quote, "We're not trying to do anything to the speech. We're trying to prohibit actions," end quote. Now, CBS 46 is leading coverage on the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery. Stay with us online and on air for the latest developments. You can also download our free, powerful CBS 46 streaming app for details. Now, at 4:35, here's the latest on the coronavirus numbers. The number of people killed by the virus in Georgia climbing to 1,444. Just more than 34,000 people have tested positive across the state. And the most cases right now we're seeing are in Cobb County. Nearly half of the state's deaths are related to long-term care facilities like nursing homes. We checked the latest numbers. There are 711 deaths linked to just over 350 facilities. Among the hardest hit, Westbury Medical Care and Rehab, that's in Butts County, and Pruitt Health, Palmyra, in Dougherty County. Those facilities are each reporting 21 deaths. Right now, the White House is recommending all nursing home residents and staff be tested for the coronavirus within the next 2 weeks. White House officials say they will help any states who need it.
And Georgians no longer have to show symptoms of coronavirus to be tested for it. Last week, Governor Kemp cleared the way for asymptomatic people to also be tested. 300 people turned out for testing at the East Point City Annex yesterday. That site offers both the coronavirus test as well as an antibody test free for those who are uninsured or anybody with Medicaid or Medicare. The city's mayor says this is the third event that they've hosted, and each time that turnout goes up.
And I think it's really that Georgians want to know their status. And I think we all realize from the science and medical experts' perspective that increasing testing is critical to reopening in a phased manner safely.
And we do expect testing is going to come up today during Governor Kemp's briefing on the coronavirus crisis in Georgia and the state's response to the outbreak. That briefing is scheduled to start at 11 this morning. You can watch the governor's remarks live on our CBS 46 streaming app or our Facebook page. And we're also going to have a live report on CBS 46 News at noon.
4:37 right now. There is progress in the race to find a coronavirus vaccine. Emory University joining forces with multiple academic centers in clinical trials. The goal is to demonstrate how well two drugs fight the virus. One is an antiviral drug. The other is an anti-inflammatory drug. The trial will involve more than 1,000 people. They're being tested at 100 U.S. and international sites.
To further expand our nation's testing
Meantime, President
capabilities
Trump
this afternoon, I am announcing
receiving
that my
$1 billion
administration
to help governors meet their testing goals. The president saying the U.S. has been conducting about 300 tests, 300,000 tests, that is, per day, and the number will go up substantially.
And there's a new coronavirus policy at the White House. Anybody who enters or exits the West Wing has to wear a face mask. This new video you're looking at shows the White House senior advisor, Jared Kushner, wearing a mask as he goes into the West Wing before the coronavirus briefing. That change coming after 2 staffers tested positive. The doctor advising the White House on the outbreak is now weighing in on what to expect for the 2020 NFL season. Dr. Anthony Fauci says it all depends on how our country responds to an expected second wave of coronavirus come fall. There's still time for things to get better, he says, though the regular season isn't scheduled to begin until September 10th.
It is 4:39 on your Tuesday. Yep, know you love this. There's a plan to bring baseball back, but without the fans. Major League Baseball owners making a proposal to the Players Union to start the season around the 4th of July weekend. Under the plan, the Braves would play an all-East schedule, mixing the National and American leagues. But the plan is contingent on no restrictions on mass gatherings and travel between the U.S. and Canada. All right, coming up on 20 minutes before the top of the hour, Fred, we are ready to see the boys of summer. You know, best way to watch baseball, though, is in the park.
We need it. We need baseball back, and well, that's almost a couple of months from now, early July. So hopefully that all works out. Love to see them back on the diamond. Let's check things out this morning. A little cold out there early on this morning, more than just a little cold. Boy, look at this. 44 for Decatur, 46 for Buckhead this morning. How about Alpharetta this morning at 39 degrees on May the 12th? Really chilly start. 44 right now for Dunwoody. Marietta, you're at 42 degrees. We have mainly clear skies over Atlanta, but as you go to the northwest, seeing some clouds and even a couple of showers showing up in northeast Alabama. A lot of that action is going to stay to our north. Maybe you catch a light sprinkle in the mountains as we go through these morning hours. There will be some clouds around today. Notice the gradual temperature rise, but each hour the temperature goes up some 3 or 4 or 5 degrees. So by noontime, we're up to about 64. And during the afternoon, the temperature will level off at around 70 degrees. Also notice there the wind speed, so much lighter than what we saw yesterday. We're talking about a 5 mile per hour or less wind in the forecast for today. What about tonight? Well, not as cold as what we have out there this morning. Let's upper 40s outside of the city, but it'll be in the low to mid 50s in Atlanta. And I think that this is going to be the coldest weather that we see until the fall right now, this morning. In fact, we have a big warm up on the way. Our first 90-degree day is possible by Sunday, which would actually be earlier than we saw our first 90-degree last year. And then we went on to see 91 of them during the summer and into the early fall. And it looks like it's going to stay warm early next week. So plenty to talk about for us in the 7-day forecast. But before we get to that, in less than 10 minutes, we want to check in now with Rodney Harris, say good morning, and find out what's going on the roadways. Hi, Rodney.
Hey, good morning to you, Fred, and happy Tuesday. Here's a live look in Douglas County. This is I-20 at Chapel Hill. For those of you coming out of Douglas County on I-20, your traffic is clearly good to go. A look at the big traffic map this morning shows no crashes on the major interstates, but I am watching for you, and I will see you again at 5.
All right, Rodney, we will be waiting 19 minutes before the top of the hour. Up next, what happened to a man who wore this offensive headdress into a grocery store? Why he's not facing charges.
Now that the state's opening up, I'd like to apply for a concealed carry permit.
And my candid conversation with a young woman who says turning 21 means she's got a right to carry a gun.
You're watching CBS 46 News, getting results.
Coming up on 445, and it is cold out there this morning. That 49 you see, that is around Midtown. It is even colder than that once you get up into some of the northern suburbs. Not far from 40 degrees, but we are going from one extreme to the other in the next 7 days. Your forecast coming up in less than 5 minutes.
All right, Fred, we'll see you then. Thanks so much. 15 minutes till 5 now. And while Georgia begins to somewhat get back to business as usual, opening up restaurants and beauty salons, one thing you still cannot do in Georgia is get a license to carry a concealed weapon. That decision has led to lawsuits and angered some Georgia residents, including one young lady in Fulton County.
Mary Cameron Regetz shoots her BB gun behind her parents' Johns Creek home, something she's been doing since she was a little girl.
It was just always a part of my life, the same as going to the barn and riding, the same as going to school and doing homework. Practicing and learning how to shoot a weapon was a part of that.
She had one goal when she turned 21.
I could not have cared less about going out drinking, which sounds ridiculous. It sounds like I'm kidding, but anyone that knows me is very well aware that I was much more excited about getting my first gun, about becoming an adult that way. I got this one right here. It's a SIG P365 with a 12-round clip. It's a 9mm, but the barrel's shorter.
Small enough she could carry the gun with her. So as soon as Georgia opened up last week, Mary Cameron called probate court.
I said, hi, I just turned 21. Now that the state's opening up, I'd like to apply for a concealed carry permit.
She was told all carry permits are still on hold. A federal judge in Atlanta rejecting attempts by two gun rights groups and a Cherokee County gun owner who wanted a temporary restraining order requiring probate courts to continue to issue those licenses despite the coronavirus emergency. Now, Mary Cameron says the constitutional rights represented by the American flag flying proudly outside her home have been violated.
The government, the governor, Kemp, no one that took this right away had the right to take it away in the first place.
Even more, she says not being able to carry a gun puts her and others at risk.
People are dying from getting beaten up. People are dying from getting shot. People get shot every day. I cannot protect anyone right now. I cannot even protect myself.
And Mary Cameron Regetz also points out that driver's licenses are being issued even to new drivers without a road test. Panic or fear buying has led to a surge in gun sales in the United States. According to a New York Times poll, Americans bought 2 million guns in March. That was the second busiest month for gun sales, just behind January of 2013 when Barack Obama took office and the mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School.